Passionate about music.
Hello Adam, great to meet you. I'm Alex.
How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. How about you?
Doing well.
Let's crack on. I had a little bit of a Twitter session earlier and we got some of our listeners to come up with some questions to ask you. So let's kick off with them. Andy asked a really good question. How did you actually get into music? Because we don't know that much about you. Tell us a bit.
It was out of boredom, honestly. I didn't have that much to do. I didn't have a long list of friends in high school, so music was kind of my escape out of the nothing that I was, kind of involved with. I didn't have much on my list, so yeah, it was just kind of purely out of boredom.
Cool. So we actually kind of see you as a bit of a bedroom musician. The video for Fireflies, you sat in your room. What inspires you kind of locked away there?
Just daydreaming, just, where I grew up, my demographic, my little subculture. I never really had the means or the money or whatever required to get out of my little hometown in Minnesota. So just imagining what all these places are like. I sing a lot about places I've never been because I've never been there. So that was always a big part of the inspiration, even just lyrically.
Now, I had a little flick through your blog. You were a really consistent blogger up until a couple of weeks ago, presumably because you're really busy promoting the single and stuff. Tell us one thing that you would have blogged about had you had the time over the last couple of weeks.
Probably inevitably food. I'm like a big, I'm the farthest thing from a food junkie connoisseur, but I love Mexican food, so it probably would have had something to do with tacos.
Okay, weird. Like
That's
that.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about Good Time, the new single with Carly Rae Jepsenon. Is it less kind of personal than some of the stuff that you've done before?
It is, yeah. I think it was a very exciting challenge for me to try to figure out how to make a bit of a momentary switch from singing about incredibly personal, subjective things and try to sing or try to write a song that many people from all walks of life could sing together, kind of and mean from the heart. So it was my first crack at trying to write something very anthemic lyrically versus something very personal and I've always been the guy to sing about the weird stuff in his own daydreams in his own head, so it was just something new to try because I'd never had. What's the biggest challenge in doing that? There's lots of writing and there's lots of rewriting and there's lots of revisions that have to be made because when you're singing about something as simple as having a good time, it's obviously all been sung about before. So how do you do it in a way that represents you, and how do you do it in a way that's compelling, that's not just so irritating you want to shoot yourself, So it's like it's all about the challenge. That's what I love about it. Okay, so the version that we're all singing along to on the radio is the Carly Rae Jepsenon collaboration. It's a duet. Did you start out writing it that way? Initially, no. I just kind of worked the song out. It was kind of in working order, structurally, lyrically, and then I forget whose idea it was. I think it was kind of just a collective idea between myself and management and the label. Thought it'd be great to have a very strong female vocal, and the more I thought about it, the more all arrows pointed to Carly. So I simply just asked her, and she agreed. Did it happen before Call Me Maybe? Yeah, a few months before, yeah. So actually, you kind of had no idea about the massive success she was going to have with that. No, and honestly, it couldn't have happened to a sweeter girl. She's so honest and kind and very, very blessed to have worked with somebody as gracious as Carly. Fantastic. Now, there's also a youth choir on the track. Explain how that came about and what that kind of brings to it. That was my manager's idea. He said it'd be great to have the last couple choruses, a kids chorus chiming in because just kids having a good time that's so much fun just to listen to. So we tracked down the Minneapolis kids chorus and got them together in the studio, which was a lot of fun, a lot of kids in the studio, and just put up a couple mics and hit record, and they just did their thing, and it worked out. I think it makes the track that much more fun. When you get a little bit of time to yourself, what do you actually do personally to have a good time? Because the track's not really kind of about partying and heading out and having a wild night. It's just literally about good, clean fun. What does that mean for you? Ironically, it has very little to do with people or outside, crowd, social interaction. The way I'm wired, I have the most fun when I'm by myself, especially just at home working on music, just making new beats, new synth hooks, writing lyrics, whatever it is. Just being creative is when I have the most fun. So probably my idea of a good time is just staying at home by myself in the studio, playing synthesizer or doing something nerdy like that.
Well, that's good for us. It means more good music on the way. The track's doing really well internationally, goes down really well in a DJ set as well, I must say. Looking at a top 10 hit, I reckon, here in the UK.
Thank you.
Do you reckon there'll be more Our City collaborations off the back of it?
I hope so. I'm really inspired by lots of European dance music, a lot of like Dutch DJ trance music, and I would love to work as a top liner for some of these DJs. When I've had the incredible honor to work with Armin van Buuren and Paul van Dyk, Chicane, doing just that. So I hope more of that. I kind of hope more of everything. It's so much fun to work with other people on their projects, on my projects, whatever. I just want to do music just all the time.
Fantastic. And am I right in thinking you worked with the French DJ Fred Folk on a remix for Good Time?
Yes, that's correct.
What was that like to do? Did you kind of do it collaboratively together or kind of in parts over the internet, as is often the way now?
I mean, technology is incredible, so I basically just left it to him, and I said, just I'll follow your lead, just do your thing, and what he came back with was incredible.
Cool, amazing. Well, let's get the song on. Cheers for chatting, and best of luck for the chart position. Is that August 20th? Is that right?
That's correct.
Cheers, Adam. Great to speak to you, and catch up with you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers, bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Passionate about music.